YouTube, what's up? I'm back with another video here, and I wanted to make a video on some common questions that I get asked on different forums, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. So I wanted to make a video here, and hopefully it's insightful and it's helpful, and it'll help you with your tank. So one of the things that I get asked quite often is my lighting schedule. The Red Sea LED 50s right here. It comes with a lot of presets as far as I think the 12, 24, and so on, but mine is customized. One thing that I do is my whites are 15% and my blues are 90%. Now, it obviously makes sense to have your lights on when you're at home, right? So I know a guy here in the town that I live in where he has his lights turning on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, right? He works in the morning, he gets home late, goes to bed a little bit later. Now it just makes sense that he wants to enjoy his tank when he's at home. So my lights turn on at 7 a.m. I'm up at 5 a.m. And they start to ramp down around 7 p.m. I do have a moonlight or a purple phase from 7 to 10. So it's just slowly ramping down. Now, once again, you want to kind of mess around with your tank to see what your coral's like and everything else. Now, speaking of corals, when you get new corals, guys, I saw a video, I think it was on Monday, of somebody going to the local fish store and then putting the coral that they just bought right up top. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that, right? You want to acclimate the coral to your lighting. The lighting at the local fish store is going to be different than the lighting that maybe you have at home, right? So I always start the corals at the bottom, then work your way up as well. That's what I've done with every single one of my corals that I have here. So just slowly putting that up. Now, another question that I get asked frequently is about the feeding. I feed small multiple times a day. Now, I feel comfortable feeding multiple times a day because of my filtration system. So right here I have the Red Sea Nano Mat. It's a beast. I mean, that thing just puts in work. And also the skimmer as well. So that's why my feeding is a little bit maybe heavier than others, because I have a pretty strong filtration system. Now, I'm currently working on getting a little bit more flow back here along this back wall, just because there's some little bit of poop back there and stuff like that, and that does, you know, mess with your nitrates, phosphates, and nutrients and things like that. And also, when you're feeding this stuff here, and I'm sorry about the mess, this flaky food stuff, you don't want to overfeed on that, because that does mess with your phosphates as well. So small amounts goes a long ways. I do direct feeding once a week to all my corals, and I do broad feeding like every other day. I just pour a little bit here on the flow, and it works just great. So that's what I do as far as feeding. You can actually still see some nori floating around as well. So that's what I do as far as feeding. Please let me know if you have any questions on the lighting. I can make another kind of in-depth video on that if it helps. I'm almost to 500, so I appreciate the support, the love, and all that stuff as well. So let me know if you guys need any, have any in-depth questions. I obviously don't know it all. I'm still learning. This tank has been up for a little over a year now, and kind of on my last note is get you some heavy cleanup crew. It looks like my RAS has flipped over quite a bit of the smaller turbo snails as well, but get yourself heavy cleanup crew. You know, maybe a couple months ago I was dealing pretty bad with some green hair algae on this back wall, but I have the troops in there doing their stuff. So please, yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll keep the videos coming. I'm gonna head over to my local fish store, and maybe Chris will let me shoot a quick little video in there. I'll ask, and I'll upload that as well. So thank you guys so much, and happy reefing.